Hey guys, how you going? Today I just want to talk a little bit about comparison. I know that there's like the Buddhist idea that comparison is the root of all suffering, and I think I always only interpreted that as meaning comparing yourself to other people who are doing better than you, and basically getting into envy and jealousy and all those negative um, emotions and states. But I also kind of think comparison can be a good thing, especially if you're comparing yourself to maybe like your past self. Um, but even when I was younger, I know when I was living in the downtown east side of Vancouver, there was a lot of very down and out homeless people who lived quite close to where I was living because it's a very cheap little area. And going by them every day, that comparison really just makes you feel grateful for what you do have and what kind of like control you have over your life situation when you have people who are so strung out, homeless, dirty, desperate, just in the worst possible state. And the same with going to like very poor places. Like when I was working in Haiti, obviously there's some people there that I will never be that, um, problematic in my circumstances. So I think sometimes comparison can be a good thing, but even then, you gotta kind of think it's not about everyone else, it's about you and what's going on inside your own head. And sometimes you just have to be present in the moment, and I think that's what the actual like Buddhist meaning of comparison being the root of all suffering, because suffering in the Buddhist meaning generally means not being present and focusing on the past generally, and sometimes the future, being afraid of things that may or may not happen in the future. um, so yeah, what is it, fear, false evidence appearing real, which is what future fear generally is about. Um, but then, of course, if that's what you're focusing on, bad things that can happen in the future, that's often where you're going to head, because what you focus on is generally what you bring to yourself, unfortunately, although we don't want to admit that. So, probably in the past, me being fearful of being unemployed, not having any prospects, having no career, has brought me to exactly where I am now. So, yeah, we gotta take some responsibility for where we've brought ourselves sometimes. And it's not about other people being racist or sexist or whatever, whatever. Life is not fair. And you're gonna get where where you had where you head yourself is the direction you're gonna go. Um, it's like when you're driving a car. If you are looking at where you want to be, that's where you're gonna end up. But if you're focused on where you don't want to be, like, oh, I don't want to crash into that, that's actually what you're most likely gonna do. Um, yeah. So you gotta focus on where you want to be and not where you want not where you don't want to be, if that makes sense. And so it's a bit of a it's not all black and white. I think comparison can be a good thing if you're using comparison as a guideline. If you're looking at someone um, who has things that you want, and instead of being mad that you don't have it and you feel that jealousy within, then you can realize, why is it that I'm jealous? It's because I want this, that, and the other thing that the other person has, and what steps can I make to push myself into that direction. You're not going to have someone else's life. You can't just jump into their body and take their life over, but you can move towards the direction that they are. If it's someone that has what you interpret as more or better or whatever, something that you'd like to have. So yeah, that's my little thoughts on comparisons, and it doesn't have to just lead to suffering. You can use comparison as a tool as long as you spin it into the direction of you're responsible for yourself, and it's not that other person getting XYZ means that you now can't get it. I mean, there's plenty of everything for everyone. Unless you're in the Olympics, there's only one gold, but that's what you're working towards. So, yeah, that's what my little thoughts were on that. Comparison, not just of the people that are doing better than you, but also the people who are doing worse than you. And maybe it is better to focus on the people who are doing better than you if you can turn it and spin it into a way of like, how can I get closer to that? Rather than looking at the people who are worse than you and being like, well, at least I'm not that. Because then you might start heading down that way. And that's not what you want, is it? But if that's what you're focusing on, then that's the direction that you might end up going. Yep, so that's my little wee thoughts for the day. Let me know what you think, and hopefully you're doing well and staying present in the moment, being grateful for what you have. Write a gratitude letter to someone who you appreciate, even if it's yourself, even if it's a fictional person, even if it's for your future self. That's one that I'm starting soon. It's on my list. Anyway, yes, it's all happening at the same time. You want to be present within the moment, but you also want to plan for the future and move towards a direction. So, it's a little juggling act here, people. Sometimes you're going to drop a ball. It's fine. Just keep going. Just pick it up, throw it away. If it's too much, just have the one. Start with one. Anyway, yeah, that's it. That's all. Peace.